And then next in the lineup, we have Yasiru with a guide to cloud services. Hi, Yasiru.
Hi Shadini, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So good evening all of you. And today I'm going to discuss something about guide for cloud services. So however, I'm not going to discuss with you what is cloud computing, very explanative descriptions about what cloud computing services available. Those things I'm not going to discuss today. But today my target is to give you some idea how you can use cloud computing for your IT project this time, for ITP this time. That's the whole purpose of this session, for my session. So first of all, introduce myself. Uh, I'm Yasiru Randika, and I am third year data science undergraduate, and I'm currently doing internship at PSN Lanka, and I'm also a member of MS Club. So next, we'll see what I'm going to discuss with you today. These are some topics that I'm going to, I hope to discuss with you. From those things, first thing is cloud computing. What is cloud services? In here, I'm not going to tell you the definitions of these things. Just give an idea from one aspect, one usage from cloud computing to get an idea how you can use the cloud computing, cloud services for your IT project. So there, you did projects, you did group projects in first year, second semester, you did IWT, PHP based application. Then in the last semester also, OOP, you built Java servlet based web application. You did different kind of things, online timetable management systems, laundry management system, these kind of things you did. But did you think of how to give this to a customer, how a user can engage with your application? Did you think about that thing? Hosting part? Did anyone think there are around 1,000 students today? Did anyone of you think about that thing? Some of you have think about hosting part and some of you have experience of hosting applications. But most of you right now, you don't have experience on that part. And I recommend, as MS Club also, we recommend you to deploy and host your application this time. When you go for the Viva, try to show the instructor from deploy your application from web. Try to show that to your instructor at the Viva. Then what I say is, for deploying application, now you are most of the time run from local host and create databases in the local host and connect it to your application and that thing. But can you do that for the when you go to that website for customers, users? You cannot do that thing. So definitely, what you have to do, you have to create a server and deploy your application. But can you build a data center in your home, at your own homes, or in SLIIT? As a team, you are going to build a data center in SLIIT. Can that thing do? No, because you need a lot of money and it will take a lot of time. So what you are going to do is you give this to cloud and they deploy, then they host on behalf of you, and the application is available on the internet, and you have to pay for them, or this time your client have to pay for cloud. That is the process. So when we talk about hosting, I explain about my experience in IWT and other things, hosting part. When I was in second year, first semester, I also did the OOP project like you. In the last semester, you did OOP project, Java servlet based one. At that time, at the end of the semester, I tried to deploy this to Google Cloud first, Google App Engine. At that time, after doing as a team, we did the project. Then I tried to deploy to Google Cloud App Engine. At that time, I didn't get enough resources to, because that project was Java servlet based, no? Because there was no enough resources, the clear definitions of how to deploy the application Java servlet based one to Google App Engine. I have to work around week to first time deploy the application to Google App Engine. Then what I found was there were some configurations, and finally, after very long effort, I could deploy my application. After deploying the application, I created servers, SQL servers in the Google Cloud and connected to my application, and I could watch and do the task, do the use, these you most of the time CRUD operations, these things from the hosted website, hosted web application. The feeling once you host this application, when you see that application on the internet, the feeling, the happiness you get, I don't have words to explain that thing. I could view that from my mobile, on laptop, on tab. Those things I could view my application, not my application, our team's application. So you also have to get that experience. As people who are doing coding, you also need to get that experience. So try to get that experience in this semester. However, there is one thing. But you sometimes you didn't get extra marks for hosting. Then why do that? No point of doing it. If we don't get marks for hosting, but why we need to do? Because believe me, before 2 3 months ago, we had a thing called Cloud Skills Challenge from Microsoft Club of SLIIT, MS Club of SLIIT. Then at that time, there were students from first year, first semester also. First year, first semester students also do things on cloud, do experiment on clouds. What we did, learn about cloud technologies. If first year, first semester students also know these things right now, first years also know these things. As second year, second semester students, if you don't know these technologies at the end of the semester, what happened? If at the end of the second year, if you are a guy who only knows cloud in the sky, ahasatino cloud ගැන විතරක් දන්නේ, then definitely you will be in trouble when you go for industry. You have to go do an internship next year. So better to have good knowledge of cloud computing, cloud, how to host an application, how these things happen in the cloud. Not a good understanding, just an understanding having is very beneficial when you go for intern. So I recommend you to try to host your application. In when we say about IWT, in our team we deployed it to Azure. As I say, in OOP project we deployed to Google App Engine. After that, from the beginning of the semester, we had a plan of deploying our application to Azure. Azure means cloud platform which is provided by Microsoft. We didn't plan it at the end of the semester because sometimes we didn't get much time at the end of the semester. You are very busy schedule this time. You have math project, you have mid exams, you have to get ready for finals. So at the end of the semester, you don't have enough time. So plan from the beginning of the semester where to host your application. So in our time, our team hosted on Azure. We created SQL servers on Azure, and not in the final deployment, final outcome. From the beginning of the project, we use server. From development stage also, we use a development server, SQL server created. We didn't use NoSQL database. We used SQL1 because of the requirement according to our project. So we created SQL server on Azure, and from the beginning we use that thing. They also, to connect from local computer to the database in the cloud, we have to use some software kind of thing. There we had some options. We could use SQL server, Microsoft SQL server. So we didn't use that thing because in our team we always try to explore some new software. In that case, we decided to use what? There is something called Azure Data Studio. There is software. So we use that software because in this project if we can get new experience, it is better. So I recommend you to try to deploy your application. At least try to deploy your application. It's better. Then what? These are some platforms you can deploy your application. These are some platforms because there are some other widely used platforms. These are top cloud providers, not for sometimes hosting, For your application, it may differ. You can use AWS from Amazon, Azure, DigitalOcean, Alibaba Cloud, Google Cloud from Google. You can try out these. Apart from that thing, you can use Firebase, thing called Firebase and Heroku. I'll show some applications that is already hosted on those later. Then, can we only think in cloud hosting? No. You think hosting just we can host the application, that is the only thing do on the cloud? Is that so? No, that is not so, because you can do some amazing thing on cloud. I'll show something. I have small thing to show you. This is an application which is hosted. The front end application, you will in this time you will most of the time you will create two applications of front end application, back end application. In this application, front end has been hosted on Firebase and back end application has been hosted on Heroku. You will learn these things, how to host the applications on Firebase, Heroku in our very next session from Senura and Yasiru. They will show some demo application how to host this. So the purpose of this is not for hosting. See what is happening. I am going to upload a bank slip. See, can you see this? BOC bank slip. In here, small animation is going on, some analyzing kind of thing. My purpose of this to get the data, name, account number, date, amount, these things for this form. See what is happening. It will take some time. So I'm not sure what something. Yeah, it get the output, the name, account number, date, amount. So this is an application which uses machine learning. What is machine learning? Oh. Am I saying you to use machine learning for your applications, your IT project? You are thinking right now we are struggling how to implement CRUD, and this guy is telling to use machine learning for our project. You are thinking so. So at the beginning, if I am in the second year also, I am also thinking in that way. But this is not a so big thing. What is I am doing is I am uploading this image to cloud. I am sending this image to cloud for Azure. Right now I am using Azure. I send this image to Azure. Azure do the processing and give me this data. What I did is I display this data. I send the image to Azure and get the output. It's very simple, no? So what you should know to do this thing? As Dilmi said, most of the time you will use APIs in this semester for this project. So you should have an idea about using APIs. If you know how to use APIs, definitely you can do this thing, because through an API I send this to Azure and get the output through an API, and I just display these things. And if you can do such kind of things for your project and publish them in LinkedIn or any other platform, once you and say that I am using this kind of things for my IT project and this is the output I am analyzing a form. So not only bank slip, in this kind of thing you can get the output from any form. It may be student registration form or employee registration form, any receipt, invoice. It's very easy if you know how to. You are using APIs in your project, definitely. So then what you have to do is use the API provided by Azure to get this output. So if you want to, first of all, you have an good idea about what is an API. So if you want to check how I created this project, you can search on YouTube, form analyzer. In there I have created how I create this project. You can find that thing, how I created this project. It's loading. So if you have a good idea about APIs, you can do this thing. If you want, if you hope to do such kind of thing, you can go through this video and try out these things. And when you publish these things on LinkedIn, the people see these things, consider you as a වැඩක් තමයි මේක කළනේ එහෙම කියලා තමයි හිතන්නේ. So you can try out these things. Another example, actually this was not created by me. This application was created by another member from MS Club, Senura. So this is a face-based authentication. What is face-based? We'll see. In here, the login is due. Quite not sure what is happened. We'll try another time. That is not working because my camera is on and it is using for Teams. If I could, I'll turn off this for a while and show you. In here, in this application, I capture my photo and then I upload it. What is happening is it is processing and I can log in. Instead of using password, these things, you can log in your application. See the way it is. In here, I give my name as ABC and I can log in as ABC. So not only for login, you can use this for some kind of authentication in your application. This is an innovative thing. You can, not mandatory, you can try out. So in here also, Senura also sending this image to cloud processing and give the output. So that's the thing. So you can also, this is not rocket science. This is not a superhuman. This is not a thing that only superhumans can do. So you can also do these things. That's why we are asking you to try out these things. So these are two examples you can try out. Some people see these as magic, but so as a people who are engaging with technology, you should try out these things. Then the next very big problem. From the beginning, I was saying host to application, try to host this in this semester, try to use these APIs, form analyzer, for face APIs, cloud processing, these things. Then who will pay for these things? I know you just pay for semester fees. Then how to pay for this thing? Because though I said to use these things, I will not give money for these things, or MS Club is not going to sponsor for you these things. Then you are in trouble. How to pay for these things? When I was in first year, I have the same question. At that time, I also thinking cloud is a very big thing that is not for people like us in first year, second year. That is for big people in third year, fourth year, and industry. Cloud is a big thing, not for us. I was also thinking in that way. But believe me, you are very lucky. Why? When you sign up for these platforms, you will get free services. You will get some free services for lifetime. You will get free services for 12 months. As well as they give some credit, they give you some money, some kind of credit. Sometimes some platforms give you $100, some platforms give you $300, but you cannot use that for order gift from Kapruka, order gift from Alibaba, AliExpress. So those things you cannot use that credit. You only can use those things in this platform only. However, you will get money as well as free services. Yeah, that is true. When though I am thinking in first year that we have to pay for clouds to use that. When I came to second year, I understand and I explore and understand. We can use these things. We can try and learn this free of charge. So why wait? Create accounts in those platforms and use these things. These are free. Okay. I think I am successful if some of you even try out these things, even try to host your application. Then some people are afraid of these platforms interfaces. So with the time constraint, I am not going to show you all the platforms: Azure, AWS, Google Cloud. I will show you a Azure platform because I feel I have used AWS, Google Cloud also. But as a beginner, what I feel is okay. Not others feel. I don't know others how they feel. What I feel is uh, the user interface in Azure is very, what we say, very user friendly for a beginner. So I am showing you the Azure interface from what you can go portal.azure.com. Therefore, before going to that, you have to create an account. I think creating an account in some platform is not a thing to teach you because you are in second semester now. Creating a platform, creating an account is doing everywhere right now. So normally you can create an account. And but the thing is, if you are using your personal email address, most of these platforms use require some bank card, credit card or debit card. But if you use SLIIT email address, your university email address, you don't need to give credit card details. You will get some more credits also when you sign in as a university student. For as I remember, for signing as a university student, you have to use some verification called GitHub. You have to get something called GitHub education tag. I will show that thing also at the end of this session. So before that, when you go for portal.azure.com, Azure's user interface, where you deploy your applications, these things. So in earlier I said there is something called app engine. In here that is showing app engine. So when you have this, it will show create, build, deploy and manage powerful web, these things. So you can host your application in here also. So but if you are using React, most of the time you will deploy it in Firebase front end and back end in Heroku most of the times, most of you. But you can try out other platforms also like this. So in here, there is a free training from Microsoft, host a web application with Azure App Service with 1 hour. The course is 1 hour. So you can learn it quickly and try out. So you don't need to at the end of the semester because you can create a very demo application, very small application with some CRUD, or you not even need to add CRUD, some uh, text on HTML, then deploy it here and try out app service. Apart from that, this is the user interface of Azure. Then I am going to free services. What you will see here, uh, services 12 months available. Meanwhile, right now, are you hungry? Huh? You are now in the session for 2.5 hours. I know you are not people, you are not watching this live from eating popcorns or drinking coffee. I know you may be hungry. So please with us for another half an hour. So because you need ITP to get some idea in ITP, some new knowledge. So keep in touch with us and don't miss this live. Be with us patient. If you are hungry, sorry for that now part. There. Services for 12 months free. You will get these free services in here. You can go and later you can see these things. And in here, what I said the earlier I saw form recognizer. What I say analyze bank slip. I do that thing using this free service form recognize. If I want to the login that I did, that was using face API. So if I went in here, there are some other free services, computer vision, those things. Though there are machine learning things, but in the cloud, the processing is done. What you have to do is you have to get that service using API, and that is even free. So why not try out these things? So if you have a plan, I think, oh, I know all of you don't have the potential to try out these things, but even some of you can try out these things. There are some students who can do these things. So I recommend you to go through this thing. If you click learn more, if you want to learn more about computer vision and learn about computer vision, click learn more, then it will direct to this website and there are some features of this computer vision. Then if you go to documentation in here, there are thing called take Microsoft Learn courses. So Microsoft even provide free courses for you to learn how to use these things, how to use computer vision, how to use these APIs. So you can do these courses as well. They are not long hours, 10 hours, 20 hours. They are not long courses. See, this is 24 minutes. Read the text with computer vision service. Why not try out these things? We sometimes we try out these things in third year, but now we are saying to try out these things in second year, because we need to see a good project from you. We need to see what we did later. We want to give it to you right now. Analyze image with computer vision, that is 28 minutes. So you can try out these things. I recommend you to go through these things and see. There are some other courses available. They are hour 30 minutes, so you can try out these things. There are so many other things available. Ink recognizer. Then you can give some kind of handwritten document to cloud and extract the text from it and get. You don't need to know how to do these processing, how to extract the text. Those things you don't have to know. But if you can, from your project, if you can upload a file and get the text output in that file, that is better. You can show that to the community, and you will also be happy, because I am a person who are trying to do new things. There are translator API. There are, these things are free. That's why I ask you to try out these things. So that is about cloud platforms. So I recommend you to go through these things. AWS and Google Cloud. Google Cloud give you $300. AWS also, there are some free services, so you can try out these things. Then when you create there are thing called GitHub student pack. From that student pack you can get some software, some services that free of charge. You don't need to pay for these services. You can get these things free of charge. So we'll see and go and see what are these things that you will get free when you have a GitHub student pack. GitHub, Google it, GitHub student pack. Then Google student developer pack. I go here. Then they're available. What are the things you can get for free when you have student pack? How to get this thing? You have to register with your SLIIT email address. Then you will get all these things free. Microsoft Azure, you will get $100. Then name.com, if you are going to host your application, you can get a free .com domain using some of these services. So I don't have enough time to go one by one of these free things. You can go through these free things in this website. What is GitHub student developer pack? There are some email services that you can send authentication emails. In our application also we send authentication emails, but at that time we use SendGrid. As I think SendGrid is not available in here. However, that service was free. There are some services available here that you can send emails. So those things, there are a lot of applications, so you can try out this thing. Then how to get in here? Click get your pack. Students, in here students available, get student benefits. Then you have to fill the application and get your pack. In here I have already get the pack. Then my application, it doesn't show application for me. So that is the thing that I want to discuss with you regarding my topic, what we say, cloud services. Apart from that, I'll take another 5 minutes. Be patient. I only take 5 minutes because I think in the beginning I thought this is say or not, but finally I decided to share some of my experience with this IT project, some guide or something for you. So throughout this ITP project, try to do things, try to explore new things. You can do some new technologies. Don't try to use Java servlet even for this project. Try to learn some new thing, React or Angular or it may be Vue. Try to learn Spring Boot and use, if you want to use Java, try to use Spring Boot kind of thing. Some new thing, always try to use something new. Then and the next thing is, in every team, I think some members are very good at coding these things and they are quick learners. Most of the teams, they are maybe quick learners. So when you learn this style, so if you think React, you learn React from YouTube by watching YouTube tutorials and some following some courses. Then what you should do is share your knowledge with team members. What we did was that in LaSalle's team, the LaSalle, I think you can remember LaSalle, Dilmi, those people's teams also. What they did was when one member learned these technologies, they taught to other members, and then it's very easy to guide because sometimes when the most of the tutorials are in English, but some people are not good at English, then they are struggling. So you can do sessions, you can do teaching in Sinhala for those members. And the next thing is try to explore new softwares, new ideas, new technologies. In this session, what we missed was a designing part. For designing part, at the beginning of your project, you have to give the user interfaces. So do that thing creatively because this application, this web project is a commercial project, or you have to, this is a production level, not an assignment for CA marks. This is a full project semester long. So you have to give a good output. In that case, you have to have a good interface. So design that interfaces. So what you can do for design an interface? There are softwares called Adobe XD, Figma, Adobe XD and Figma. I think those are very popular designing thing when we consider about designing thing. So you can try out these softwares because if you don't have a designing idea, one member did all the when they use interface like some member design code their interface like something called Toranak වගේ තියෙනවා යාලගේ එක්කෙනෙක් interface එක. Some have a plain interface, then it is not good for some quality product, some quality output. So you have to have a good designing at the beginning. So I recommend you to try out Figma, Adobe XD, some software for that. Then another thing, 1 minute I will take. When you have a question, don't depend on the team leader. Some people, I have heard of some people, they think team leader should do everything for us. Team leader should consider, team leader should code for us, but team leader is not a person. So I have heard of some people, when they got some error, what they do is they stop from here, put a WhatsApp message, I am struggling, I got an error, can you please solve me? They didn't even Google that question, but they got error. They are bothering for team leader, depends on team leader. But don't do that because he is also a person who had the same kind of workload with you. So try to everyone try to get the answer from Google. Now searching from and get the answer from Google is also art. So try to learn that art, that will be very helpful in you in the future. So my session was around half an hour. So with these things, I am going to stop my session, wind up my session. The thing is, I hope you will, the whole purpose of this session, with my session and all the others, not to say you, "Api tamai hondatama kare." The whole purpose was to guide you to do better than what we did. Api කරාට වඩා හොඳට ඔයාලා මේ project එක කරන එක තමයි අපේ බලාපොරොත්තුව. So do the projects better than what we did and hope to see your projects. In the last time when Gihan Naya and the team, Dinwan Naya, Jonathan, these people when do the session, their happiness, their satisfaction was when they see at the end of the semester, when they saw our projects on LinkedIn, they was very happy. They was very satisfied because our students, the students in our batch had used, more than 70% of students had used new technologies. So they were very happy. So in this time, our happiness is depend on you, what you do. So we also hope to see your projects, new technologies, new cloud computing things, innovative ideas. We hope to see these things on LinkedIn wall at the end of the semester, and that is our satisfaction, that is our happiness. So with that, wishing you all the best for a good innovative project. I wind up my session. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Shadini, back to you after the long session.
As always, Yasiru has brought up something very interesting. I'm pretty sure if you use these services, your project is going to stand several steps above others, and it will not limit to ITP, but will definitely be very useful with your future career, no matter what specialization you choose. Thank you so much, Yasiru, for explaining about cloud services as everybody can understand, and the demos were absolutely amazing, and I hope you take the maximum use out of it.